Hey everybody, been helping Nathan Moore out in Colorado. Hang on a minute, I gotta get something else running here. There on the monitor behind me, you can see the reflectivity. And this thing's kind of cycling. It looks ugly, but it's had some really tight rotation. So before we do the tropical weather, let's kind of go through what Nathan's seeing. This is reflectivity. And pretty far from the radar site. So, hey Brian. Hey Berna. Pretty far from the radar site. You know, I'm looking almost 8,000 feet off of Denver radar. But the velocities in it, let me go back some scans here. Right there's some pretty tight rotation. But it's embedded. There's been several scans that it's tightened up. That's current. It is severe warned and possible tornado. But where that rotation is it's all embedded inside of a rain field. So Nathan's he kind of drove up in it, and he's going to let it roll over. Really small hail. It's only about half inch, I think. Yeah, half inch. The storm's moving southeast at 29. This thing's really sped up. Southeast at 29 knots now. Give it a few minutes here and see what it's going to do, and then we'll get to the tropical weather update. Hey, Brian. Let me give you the multi-stream link so you can watch both of us. There's the link for multi-stream. You can click on that and see us side by side. Hey, South Paul Fox. They kind of do a lot of measurements in the metric system. Why, I don't know. When things get really exciting, I do have a website that I can convert knots to miles per hour. That's it right there. But it's just much easier when I'm helping Nathan just to mention knots instead of miles per hour. Now the warnings always read out miles per hour, but the data I get is metric. So the rain's taken over where Nathan's at. We'll zoom in on the storm here. Nathan. It's about right there. So that's the reason why he's getting pounded with rain right now. Yeah, rotation weakened down before it got to him. I think he's in the outflow winds now. So, going to wait a little bit. Thanks everybody for joining me. Going to wait a little bit on the tropical weather update until this thing gets past Nathan or does something different. Hey, Nola. There's been some changes in the tropical weather. The 95L is no longer, it's just a tropical wave. And the next one has got a designation now. It's Invest 96L. Oh, thanks, guys. I like bringing the streams to you when I can. '96L has been given a 70% chance of formation in the next 5 days. And actually, the 8 o'clock tonight, the 2-day is 20% now. Water spouts in the Netherlands. Cool. Those are awesome. Hard to catch, but they're awesome. This thing is just downright ugly. But DBZ just went up. Nathan, I got 60 DBZ south of your beacon now. Hail's up to 3/4 inch 20 severe now. But yeah, I was watching your stream, man. Them winds really kick you. Do, 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 do. Now they're showing 57 dBz on it. I seen 60 on it. 26 knots southeast. And for those of you that just came on, for those of you that just come on and want to watch me and Nathan together, there's the link. And can watch side by side. Over on the left side, a multi-stream, you can change it if you don't like the side by side. I like the side by side with two people because you get to see both chats. Yeah, it's not looking good at all now. But over on the left side of that website, you can change how you want to view it. Yeah, that's where I was seeing that stronger core. Here's GR3. And you can see Nathan's blue dot just on the north side of that core. Yeah, the velocity, it's really weakened down. At one point, it really tightened up. I mean, it looked ugly on reflectivity, but it had some really good returns on velocities. I'll go back in history here. Like right there. That was some real tight rotation. But now it's ugly. That's current. And it's downloading a new update. Yeah, the yellow and reds together, real bright. That's when it's got tight rotation. Right now it looks more outflow dominant, but I'm looking over 8,200 feet because I'm off of Denver radar, and that's about 78 miles away. Now when it gets closer, I'll switch down to Goodland, Kansas. Let's see, let's place a marker here. Actually, I could switch to Goodland now at 72 miles. See what that looks like. That's clutter. That's scattering. You'll see that on velocities. Sometimes it's what they call the folding area. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of clutter off of Goodland. And it doesn't look near as good on. Yeah, I'm going to have to put a radar sight up off of Goodland. Goodland's just a few miles closer, about 6 miles closer right now. But I'm getting a lot of scattering off of Goodland. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of folding of the two different radar sites. Sometimes it'll cause that clutter. But for now, since I got so much clutter, I want to go back to Denver. At least here on Analyst. Take a look at GR3 off of Goodland. look all that great. But I'll keep that one on Goodland. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to split screen. Go to 2 panels. And I'll make this one velocities. And I'm getting a lot of scattering on velocities, even on level 3 data. So while we're waiting for this to ramp up or do something, let's go ahead and talk tropical weather. This is infrared view of that complex where Nathan's at. And this right in here is the remnants of 95L. And you can see it's bringing Florida a lot of moisture. Yeah, so am I. But let's go down here to 96L. And it looks kind of ugly. And the reason why, it's in 72 degree weather, water. So it's fighting to do something because the water temperature isn't warm enough. But that's 96L. And they do, on one model, have this ramping up. Hang on. Yeah, I see they moved that severe box over Yuma now. But one model run here has this actually making Cat 2 hurricane. Barely. That's when it gets over around the Caribbean. Once it gets to the Caribbean, the water temps are in the low 80s. And the more northwest it goes, the warmer the waters get. So that's when it'll really start ramping up. And it looks like it's going to be somewhere around Wednesday. Also, Hurricane Center is calling this one an area to watch. So they're keeping an eye on this. That's just a tropical wave at this point. And you can see back over Africa, there's another one. So actually there's, just in the Atlantic, we have 4 areas to watch. So the tropical season's really ramping up. And I've got 3 different models showing up on 96L now. Go ahead and show you the National Hurricane Center. You can see the yellow X, that's what's left of 95L. And the red is 96L. And that does have a 70% chance of forming in the next 5 days, a 20% in the next 2. So I've got hopes for this one. And this is the latest update, the 8 o'clock update, which will be the last one until 2 o'clock in the morning. There you can see that they've got it at 70%. In the Atlantic, I don't know why they use the 90s. Yeah, they always start with 90 and go to 99, and then they'll start back over at 90 again. I'm not sure why they do that. That's a good question. I did not get to put together my emergency kit list. I wasn't feeling very well all day, and I really want to make it nice. Uh, I will have it before this thing gets close to Florida. It's basically, the main things, like I said the other night. You want non-perishable foods, and I highly suggest getting a fireproof, waterproof, safe. You can get them about the size of a briefcase. Keep all your important papers, birth certificates, stuff like that, in that. That'll cover you in case of a fire, a flood, or whatever you run into. And then have a tote with non-perishable food. Um, I mentioned you can get these packs of like tuna salad, chicken salad, hey Mons, and they're like an MRE or meals ready to eat, and they last for a long, 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 long time. You don't have to refrigerate it or nothing, or you can get packets of just tuna, canned foods. Be sure you have a can opener, a mechanical can opener, because the power goes out. The electric one ain't gonna do you no good. Definitely should have batteries, flashlight. And I tell you something cool you can do. Uh, I'm not sure if you've seen them. You can get these flashlights that are on a headband, and they're great. When you're looking through a drawer when the power's out, you got that flashlight on your forehead, and points wherever you're looking. Take that with a gallon of water in a clear plastic, sort of like a milk jug, and hang that flashlight pointing into the jug over the top of it. It'll light that water up, and it makes a great lantern. Yeah, you can get all kinds of MREs. But that flashlight idea, you'd be amazed how much light that will put off with that flashlight shining into that gallon of water. I actually did it with my phone last night. I was sitting outside with the neighbors, and I turned the flashlight on my phone and pointed it up. And I had a Gatorade that was white. I forget what they call it now. I don't have one handy. But I set that on top of the flashlight on my phone, and it lit that whole thing up and made a great lantern. Hey, Rick. I'm getting scattering off of Denver and Goodland right now. I can't tell. Does look like on that back side it's trying to hook around. But definitely want to have a regular flashlight, plenty of batteries. Uh, and if you can buy the cell phone chargers that are solar powered. I have my good days, Rick, and I have my bad days. Yeah, it don't matter which radar I look at, they're all too far away. Man, can't really get a good look. I mean, looking over 8,000 feet. Uh, where am I at with the background? Where are you with the background? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm at home. I'm in Southwest Ohio in my little studio. Yeah, it does kind of look like a little TV monitor sitting back here. There's Nathan's view. I have him in one of my ears here. Yeah, I got to get me one of those solar powered backpacks for cell phones. Oh, I'm at home. I can't go nowhere. And as you can see on the right there, the storm relative velocity, or SRV, yeah, I get a lot of scattering right now. This thing's ugly. And I'm looking over 9,000 feet, and that's the reason why. Let's see. I don't know if I have a picture handy of my setup. Take a look. I cleaned off my hard drive. Oh, doggone it. I looked in my backup folder, and I don't see that picture on my system now. You go to another backup folder. Nope, don't see it there either. Oh, here we go. Nope, wrong one. And daggone it, I knew I got that picture somewhere. Here we go. That's my setup. Oops, zoomed in too much. Now, what you can't see here is I have a monitor mounted off to my left over on the wall. I have another monitor to put up there on top where that lamp is. Got to make a bracket for it. Actually, I've had the monitor in the very top right. That one died on me, so I'm not using that one tonight. But I do have 11th monitor mounted over here on the wall. Yeah, it's off to the left of that picture. You can't see it. Boy, this thing just died, Nathan. And I'm also, if we get our TV channel going, I'll be the main producer and director of that. Yeah, from time to time, I have people come over and see my setup while I'm working. Yeah, the guy that's doing the video editing for the stuff we're going to play on the TV channel is out in Arizona for the monsoon season. That's Kerry Meltzer from Long Island. So I got to wait till he gets back and gets done editing the videos for us. Got all kinds of things that we're going to be doing on the TV channel. And I'll definitely let everybody know. Now, as far as the two hurricanes out in the Pacific, switch satellites. Eric is just about to Hawaii, but it's dropped down to a Cat 1 hurricane. It's quickly going to be dropping down below that, down to just a tropical storm. And it's fighting a lot of wind shear out there by Hawaii, and that's killing it. And you can see this. You can see where the shear is affecting it, because the center is back here. So all the storms are blowed off to the west side of it. So plus it's running into some cooler waters. Now Flossie is way back here, so they're not going to interact. Now this one is headed more towards Hawaii, but it's already dropped down to tropical storm. So not going to be any really devastating. They're going to have a lot of highways, a lot of wind, tons of rain from both of these. But they're pretty much expecting them to die out. Now Flossie, its current track, it's got it right on the edge of the cooler waters. And so that's what killed it. Now we do have another area watch back here. I don't think they've given that invest yet. But they're also watching that one. I think that one's probably, well, let's see. See if they're giving it a chance yet. Go Eastern Pacific. Okay, they got it at a 30% chance. That'll be on the next wave headed towards Hawaii. Hey, Jane. And Nathan Storm just died. I mean, it just flat died. And here you can see on his stream. Hey, Force. Yeah. Oh, I'm not at the end yet. I'm still waiting to see if something happens for Nathan. But it's not looking good. I want to go back to one panel here. I was late getting started tonight, Force. I didn't go live until about 37 minutes ago. And that's because I was helping Nathan out in Colorado. Yeah. See some wind reports on that thing, but boy, that thing just died quick. And you got one back behind it, but it's ugly. Storms do weird things in that part of Colorado. They really do. I'm searching around here. Copy that. Yeah, Nathan's going to head back up to the north a little bit. All these storms just got ugly. Yeah, so in the Pacific, the cooler waters has killed pretty much Eric and Flossie. And the wind shear killed 95L. It was moving so slow that it couldn't get through that band of wind shear in the upper levels, and it just killed it. Not only that, let me show you here. As you can see here, we have this cold front straight down through here. Actually, let's do this in blue. So that's pushing southeast and creating, and you can kind of see it. Let me place it. Bermuda High's about right in there. And you can see how these storms is swinging around. Hey, thanks for the new follow. And I don't know why that's not showing up on your screen. Just hide back up here. So let's try this again. So like I was saying, you can see how the storms is circling around that Bermuda High. And that didn't help out 95L. Now I'll zoom out here. And this down here is 96L. Right there. So I'm anxious to see how it's going to track. Now they've got it blowing up pretty much in this area. This is where it's going to hit the 80 plus degree temperature waters. So that's when 96L, which is down here, is going to track that way and get a chance. Now with this Bermuda High, about right in there where it's at, and it's going to help steer this. Now one of the models I was looking at has it staying off the east coast of Florida, so got to kind of wait and see when it gets closer how this Bermuda High really affects it. It'll try to steer it right around it, just like it did 95L. So, gonna have to wait a couple more days. With the water vapor. Okay, right there, and let me get that high out symbol off. Right there in the center, that's 96L. And see this brown? That's dry air. There's a little bit of the Saharan desert dust floating around over in there, and that's really dried this air out. But hopefully that'll move out. And if it does, then there's nothing going to stop it. You can see this swirl right here in the center. That's where that Bermuda High is. You can really see how it's swirling around that high. Yep, wind shear and Saharan dust killed my namesake. But boy, did it cause a lot of flooding. The Saharan dust definitely affects the storms because it dries the air out and it contaminates it. Hey, thanks for the new follow. So it definitely affects it. Now when it comes to severe weather, we like to see a dry line, not the dust, but the dry air. And as you can see here, this brown here, that's dry air. And look how these storms is popped up ahead of it. Where that dry air hits up against the front with the moisture coming up out of the Gulf. And that's what's really blowed up these East Coast storms. Hey, FLS. What did I see in your... But as you can see out here, you can just look at the water vapor. And like I said the other night, I love looking at satellite view. You can see so much about what's going on in the atmosphere. And just by looking at this, I can tell there's a high pressure. Come on, turn on. There's high pressure out in here. And you can tell that just by the way that the water's coming up and around. And then there's a trough here. And then this is a trough. This is your ridge out here where the high is. I don't know why I'm not in the streamers group. I thought I was added. I am on the, or was on the SVL website. So we've got a low about right in there. And then the high's over here. So let me animate this. It's really cool to watch water vapor. Now it's going to flicker until it loads up all the panels. And I'll turn off the radar. It'll work a lot better. But there you can really see that high pressure. And by the way, that high pressure is what's bringing the moisture up that's causing the monsoons in Arizona and New Mexico. Yeah, high pressure rotates clockwise, so you can really see that. Hey, Sparrow. Zoom out here. Go at 96L. Take a look at it. I'll look at it in infrared. So it'll take a little bit to load up all the panels here. Now it may be a little hard to see, but you can see some rotation in it. It's just having a hard time developing the thunderstorms around it because of the 72-degree water. As that high in Bermuda starts steering it more northwest, then in the next couple days it'll start hitting 80-degree water. That'll fuel it. That's what it needs to get strong. Then it'll start building the thunderstorms around it. Really hard to see where the center is. To me, looks like that center might be about right there. And let's go back here and this is the next area to watch. And it's starting to get some circulation in it. I tell you the one that really looks nasty. Look at this. Still over Africa. This will be the next wave that'll be coming off the coast that we'll be watching. Now that might break into two separate waves. We'll have to wait and see. So in the Atlantic, we really have four areas that we're watching. Yes, we will possibly have 97L and 98L. It's possible. Thank you, Lizanne. I like bringing it to you when I can. It's so expensive to be able to keep the equipment up and do all I can. And since I do this on a fixed income, then it makes it really hard. Now they'll only consider these off the coast of Africa there as just areas to watch. They really won't give it a designation till it kind of proves itself and gets further west. Go over here to the GO 17 satellite, and I'll turn off the National Hurricane stuff. Let this load up and take a look at these. Again, Flossie is down to just a tropical storm. This is Flossie. I don't know where they came up with that name. I think of Flossie, I think of Bossy. I think of Bossy, I think of cows. So you can see the rotation in Flossie, but it's ugly. But look at Eric. That is just amazing looking. Looks like a sea creature. The way it's got these fingers. That is, as of the last report, that's a Cat 1. And it will soon drop down to tropical storm. Now you can see how the clouds is already hitting the big island. Look at water vapor on this. Watch the core. Watch the core get smaller and smaller. It's fighting wind shear, some dry air. You can see the brown out of, and different areas there to the west side of it. So that's some dry air. But watch how that core is just falling apart. So it's going to drop down, if it hasn't already, to tropical storm status. Now just to, well, I'll hold up on that for another show. Let's go find out what Nathan's doing. He said he was going to move north and take a look at them storms. Get rid of the satellite, bring the radar, zoom in. You can see how all these storms are turning into a line. That's not a good thing. I'm not seeing anything good in velocities. And to tell you the truth, everything has got ugly. A lot of rain. Rain cooled air for these storms to move into is going to kill it. They have dropped the 2% on it for the tornado risk. Nathan, I don't know if you've noticed, but they dropped that 2% on it. They still have the slide out from about where that line is down to east of Goodland and McCook, Imperial there in Nebraska. Still got that slide. That yellow there, that's the slide. There was a 2% tornado risk, but it's gone now. So, while I got a moment, anybody got any questions? Hey Jane, I don't know if you was watching last night. How you like my little SVL TV logo down there in the bottom left? I'll be putting that over on the TV channels soon. Hey, Rippy Four. We've been chasing out in Colorado, up in the northeast corner, where that line of storms is there. Plus, I gave the tropical weather update. Nathan's running into a little bad data area. But, I mean, it was really looking good. He had a real mean shell cloud earlier with fingers coming out of it. It was just awesome looking. He got his drone out and got it up there looking at the storm. Had a successful flight there. Why that resized itself. There, that's better. Southeast Colorado, not so much for tornadoes. Oh, I'm kind of used to it, Force. But that's okay, you know. I let them know right away whether it's actual spin, but I can't tell on radar by looking at velocity. I mean, it could have a super tight spin on it, like I did earlier. Uh, you can't tell if it's a tornado. That kind of gets to me when they start hollering tornado. But the only way you can tell is to look at CC or correlation coefficient and look for a debris signature. And but still, that don't guarantee. You know, that could have been straight line wind or whatever that caused the debris. So just by looking at radar, you can't 100% confirm a tornado. Now, if I got a tight debris signature in the same place of some really tight rotation on velocity, as well as a real strong normalized rotation signature, then I can 99% chance that there's a tornado. But yeah, I see people in Nathan's chat, tornado on the ground, and it'll be Scud. But, you know, they see the red and the greens on velocity. Yeah, correlation coefficient, it can deceive you sometimes. Sometimes you can get some scattering that'll cause the blue dots in CC. And people will think it's debris. And I don't have a good example. Or yeah, I do. Let's look at CC. Over here to analysts, this is CC, correlation coefficient. Now, a lot of people would say that's a tornado right there because the blue dots generally signifies debris. When I look at velocity, there ain't nothing there. There's no spin there. And when I look at reflectivity, there's not even any rain there. Hang on. Yeah, I'm kind of been searching around. Nathan hollered at me out. But yeah, that's the one I was just looking at. How many hours of chasing approximately is it versus actual experiencing a tornado? Oh, Lord. Yeah, you got to be patient. Sometimes you can see a tornado maybe several days into a chase. Just like today, we had a really good chance, and Nathan's been out chasing and live streaming for hours and hours, and no tornado. So it's pretty hard to be able to go out and catch a tornado right off the bat. It's really hard. It takes a lot of investigating the models, the soundings. There's so much that goes into planning for a good chase, and that still doesn't guarantee. Oh, Lord, yes. Yeah, of course. Like I was showing here before Nathan interrupted me. Okay, I got some rotation. When I look at CC, there's a big old blue dot there. Look at that big old blue marker. People look at that, oh Lord, tornado on the ground. No. There's nothing there. The storm is south of it. So that could be dust blowing into the storm on the inflow. And it's showing up on CC. A lot of times, hail, you'll get hail scattering. Not in this case, but most likely that's some inflow to the storm, looking at velocity. It takes a lot of, I wouldn't say years, but to correctly identify something on radar, it takes a lot of time, a lot of experience. And I've even caught meteorologists that's got a degree screw up. And I just want to call them up and laugh at them. Been a couple times on the Weather Channel. They were looking at the wrong radar site. Hey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Nice. Tier 1. Thank you. That really helps. But, yeah, they were looking at the wrong radar. And it was too far away. They were looking over 15,000 feet in the storm. I'm watching a closer radar and laughing my butt off. And it's like, there's no storm to, one to produce a tornado. It was just ugly. It was bowed out. He was looking so high up into the storm, and it had some scattering even in what they was showing. Okay. Yeah, I do. When I'm telling you guys about what I'm seeing, I try to keep it simple. It's a lot easier for y'all to understand. But there's so much that I got to check. I'll check, water vapor, dew points, temperatures, winds, not only low level wind, but also upper level winds to see, what direction to shear. There are two main types of shear. You have directional shear, which change of direction with height, and then you got speed shear, where all the winds are going the same direction, but they get faster as you go up. It's like taking a pencil, laying it on your hand, and spinning that pencil. That's speed shear. Speed shear's not good for tornadoes. You need directional shear, where the direction of the winds change the higher you go up, and it gets everything spinning. Now, sometimes you can have speed shear or horizontal shear, and it will go vertical. It can do that. But a lot of times, when you got horizontal rotation, you'll get straight line winds instead of tornadoes. If you do get a tornado, it's usually a short-lived, quick spin up. But there's so much that goes into getting a chase ready, or even for me on my end, where I can, tell them, okay, let's give up on this storm. Let's check this other one out. Of course, I used to be a chaser, so I had to do that. when I used to chase. And a lot of times comparing the models, you got to try to figure out, okay, which one's right. So a lot of times I'll look at all the different models, then I'll start combining the data and trying to figure out where to go. Yeah, she's complicated, and I tell you what, she can change her mind. Now, a lot of the chasers will constantly look at the models during the chase. That never worked for me. I'd look at the HRRR in the morning or right before the chase. Then after that, I don't bother because a lot of times that's off. That doesn't work out for me. Yeah, definitely need more radar, especially up in that corner of Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska. I mean, we got Cheyenne, but there's some mountains, around Cheyenne. Then we got Denver, and then we got Goodland, and then there's North Platte. But up in that very corner, the panhandle of Nebraska and that northeast corner of Colorado, real dead spot for radar, like where Nathan's at, right now. Even at the lowest tilt, I was looking 6,000-7,000 feet. Another bad area is the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah, the chasers have got blindsided down there in the panhandle of Texas. Way up in that northeast corner. It's a real bad spot. And that's where the meteorologist that I was talking about was on the wrong radar site. Because the storms were crossing into Oklahoma in that area. And he was looking off of Oklahoma City. And that was way too far. And actually, there's an Air Force base. Where is that? It's down in that. Fredericks. Fredericks Air Force Base has got a nice radar. So, as that storm was coming into Oklahoma, and they was using Oklahoma City, and Fredericks was not that far away. It was only like 40, 50 miles. Yeah, Skywarn, it's good, but it doesn't give you everything. It's too short of a class for them to cover everything. It gives you the main key things to look for. But yeah, if they would have used Fredericks radar site there in Oklahoma, that's down in the southwest part of Oklahoma. It was so much closer. Oklahoma City was over 100 miles away. And that's where they screwed up. And I had 2 chasers out there. I do have a ham radio license. I've been a ham radio operator since 1981. That's when I started chasing storm. Apartment. Then I can't put up the antennas that I need. I never went for extra. I kind of stuck with my general. I was going to go for advanced back, I'm talking, they changed the classes so much. I mean, when I started, uh, there was, oh Lord, I can't think now what the lowest class was. And then there was tech, then general, advanced, and extra. I knew everything to get my advance, but I never went for it. Yeah, I was actually better with 20 words a minute than I was with 10. As a musician, 20 words a minute actually made more sense to me because it had a rhythm and it had a beat. And before everybody started using computers and had the hand key, each person had their own little rhythm, and so I could hear somebody, and I could tell who it was. Just to refresh, Nola. Yeah, unless Twitch or YouTube messes up, uh, my stream will be solid. I don't have the trouble that the chasers do. I'm actually dual streaming Twitch and YouTube. Haven't really seen a lot of people tonight on the YouTube though. I haven't even checked it. But the app that I use to watch the chat actually shows me both. Let's look at my YouTube. Only have one person watching, and that's me. Uh, that's unusual. Usually I got more people watching me on YouTube than I do Twitch. Or they slowly been coming over to Twitch. And to tell you the truth, I like Twitch a lot better. I like the chat better. Oh. So I think things are pretty much done. Let's take a look here and DR3. Storm Nathan was talking about was up here southeast of Cheyenne, but that's way too far away from him. All these other storms look like crap. Yeah, Rick, I think a lot of people have. Which originally I wanted everybody to switch over, but now they got it to where I get enough people on YouTube, I can get paid that way as well. Yeah, these storms have really died. And there's just nothing, especially close to him. So I think these are pretty much done. See what he says. Boy, sure ain't looking too good, Nathan. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just everything's horrible. Yeah, I know. And I forget where I'm at. At one time, I had 990 some people on YouTube, but something happened and the numbers dropped, and I don't know why. I got two people watching. Okay, Jane. Take her easy, Jane. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, this didn't act like I thought it was going to at all. Oh yeah, I still upload videos. Been a little while. I need to get over there and start working more. For some reason, it's not telling me the information I want. Okay, I got 853. It used to be like 992 or something like that. A lot of people unsubscribed, I think, when they came over to Twitch. And I see on my channel it says that I'm multi-streaming with the interview with David Baxter. That was 2 or 3 months ago. That's on the subtitle. I don't know why that's there. The main title looks right. It's really cool with Restream. Uh, you know, like I said here a while back, I stream from my streaming PC out to Restream, and it splits it up and sends it to Twitch and YouTube, and it automatically updates my title. All I got to do is type in one title, and it sends it to both of them. But Restream's messed up on the sub message from. It's still got a sub message from 3 months ago, but the main message is there. And another thing about Restream, like I said, they got their app to where I can watch the chat on either Twitch or YouTube. It gives me both of them at the same time. And then also Restream, I have it set up. It sends out notifications to my Facebook weather page, Discord, and Twitch. Or Twitter. So it sends, whenever I go live, it sends those messages out to Twitter, Discord, and my weather page. And that helps out. I don't have to worry about doing none of that. And it's free. Unless I want to stream to Facebook Live. Then I have to pay. Facebook Live's a little anal about multi-streaming. Now I could do it with XSplit, but I had so much trouble with XSplit, I switched over to OBS. And I paid for a whole year with XSplit, and they're not refunding my money. Yeah, my stream is being recorded on YouTube and Twitch. So as soon as I get done streaming, people can go back and watch it. It's always done that on YouTube. I've got all my videos on YouTube from the very day that I first streamed there, which only keeps them for so long. And if I don't save them, then they get removed. Okay, folks, is there any questions? Nathan informed me that he's done. Is there anything you'd like for me to cover? That's kind of weird because whenever I did a Facebook Live, those are still on my Facebook. Let's see. As a newbie, are there any other parameters I should use in addition to base reflectivity, composite, SRV, hydrometer class, correlation coefficient, enhanced echo tops? That's pretty much the basic ones you want to use. Another thing is that I use is the POSH on Analyst for the possible severe hail. The MEHS, I use that a lot. NROT, I use a lot. I'll use spectrum width. Sometimes spectrum width, it's kind of confusing to look at, but sometimes it'll help you, especially like during the monsoon season and when they've got the haboobs. A lot of times I can see the leading edge of the dust storm with spectrum width, and I also use CC for that. Oh, that's weird, Rick. Yeah, when you move over your hail marker on 3, it will give you possibility and severe. But let me show you on Analyst. Okay, we'll look at this storm right here. Now I'll switch over to Posh, and I can see all of the hail. When you move your mouse over the hail marker, it only gives you for that one spot, where Posh oh, you don't use GR. Oh man, you got to use GR. Yeah, you can see spectrum width here. That's ugly. I don't use it a lot, but sometimes I do. Okay, I think I'm going to call it. I'm getting pretty tired. I got some other things to do, like fix me something to eat. If you would like, let me find something here. If you'd like to donate, I think it will be a lot easier and a lot better. You can still go to PayPal, but that at the top of the stream, that still sends it to my PayPal. But it might be better for some people, because some people don't like to use PayPal. But if you're so inclined, I would appreciate it. It really helps me bringing the stream to you. So, or donate bits, subs, whatever you can. I appreciate it. I really do. It really helps me out. So, thanks everybody for joining me. And again, I'll be back around 8:15 Eastern Time with more tropical weather updates. So we'll catch you tomorrow night. So thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night.